So thanks everyone for joining today's session. So any doubts on yesterday? We covered this hands-on labs for classes, objected, instance variable, class variable, different type of methods, instance method, class methods, and static methods. And we also covered the properties, getter, setter, right? So any question on that before we progress on next topic? Okay, then I would take it as a no. Let's move to the next topic.
Sure.
So today we are going to cover the main OOPS concept here. Okay, we are going to cover the inheritance, composition, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, and then if time permits, we will do the hands-on lab also. Otherwise, we will do it tomorrow. So anyone can tell me what is inheritance?
Parents and child concept.
Yeah, in the layman language, if we will say, right, is so suppose you are inheriting some genes from your parents, right, and your parents also inherit some genes from their parents. Okay, so this is the same thing. The parent-child kind of relationship is a relationship that we call a relationship. You have a father and you are child of that father. Okay, so what is the inheritance in the term of the OOPS? Okay. So along with inheritance, we will discuss this method resolution order also, because that is also a critical part of the inheritance. Okay. So what is inheritance? Inheritance is a core concept of object-oriented programming where a new class, child or derived class, can inherit attribute and method from an existing class, whether parent or the base class. So what it means to us? Suppose I have a class A, right? And it is having some attribute, say x equal to 10, and it is having some method called define, which is a speak. Okay, so this is a method, it is printing something. Okay, I am speaking like this. Okay, so if I want to derive one class from this A class, suppose I am deriving one class from A. Okay, so then what will happen here? This B can use this objects, sorry, the attributes of this, and it can also use the methods of this class. Okay, so that is the concept why we do this. The main reason for this is to promote the code reusability. If my A class having some feature which the B also want to use it, so then I don't need to rewrite that code again. So I can reuse this feature. If I need to make some enhancement on top of that, I can make enhancement, but I can use whatever the existing functionality is there. So the main purpose is the code reusability. Sorry. Okay, code reusability.
Okay.
And the second
Okay.
thing is that we are establishing a relationship between the classes, hierarchical relationship like that. I have a class called animal, right? I have a further animal called cat. I can also say animal dog. So I am creating one hierarchy, so that in this form,
Okay.
if someone will get to know about this cat, he will that yeah, it is inheriting from animal. It means this cat is an animal if someone don't know. So we can create a hierarchical relationship between the classes also by doing this inheritance. And then MRO. MRO is method resolution order. So this is basically is a concept where I am saying that my particular class, suppose A class, is inheriting from two classes B and C, right? And B also have same method, say XYZ, and C also have same method XYZ, right? So which method it will inherit, right? So how to resolve this? So in Python, so whatever the class name I am defining first while I am inheriting it, suppose I am inheriting A, B, comma C. This is my order of creating my class, right? I created one class A like this. Okay. So then first it will inherit from B. So whatever I am mentioning first in this order, okay, then it will inherit the method of that particular class. Okay. So this is the
So
method resolution order. Yes.
you mean that none of the method from C class will be inherited, or if that B and C has the same method name, then it will use the B method, correct?
No, yeah, if they have the same method name, then it will use from the B, but if C have a
B.
different method, then it can use from the C also. If the same
Okay.
method is there, right?
Okay,
I
mean
take the example
that
XYZ here,
the
right?
Python support multiple inheritance, correct?
Yes, it support multiple inheritance,
Okay.
right? So this is the inheritance. Any question on this? At high level, ki what is inheritance? Why we are using this inheritance, and what is method resolution order?
No, we
Okay,
are good to hear.
thanks. So when we are saying here A is inheriting from B, so A is inheriting from B. This is a relationship. We called it a is a relationship because A is inheriting from B. But in the OOPS, we have another concept called composition. Okay, so what is composition basically? Composition is having a hedge a relationship. So when I am saying is a relationship, it in the inheritance, it means I am trying to inherit from this. But when I am saying has a relationship, I am taking, I'll suppose this is my A. If I am trying to B and C, then I have a hedge. I am incorporating this thing inside me when I am using this facility of this. That concept is called composition. But if I am saying that A is simply deriving from B, A is not taking care of this B, then it is called inheritance. Okay, so composition in Python with context of object oriented program is a design principle where a class contain instance of other class as attributes. This create has a relationship, meaning one object as a part of another object rather than a type of another object, as in the inheritance. Okay, so once I am saying what it means to us, right? So it means to us that it is a design principle. So we what are design principles? So these are, yesterday also we discussed this factory method, right? So how we are creating the object of a particular class, right? So that we is the way to, or the design principle how we are creating an object of a class. So this is also a design principle where a class contain instance of other classes and attributes. Okay, so what are attributes
Okay.
of a class? If I am creating a class A, I am declaring one variable x here, then I am saying that this x is a variable of B class.
So
Okay,
you
so it,
mean that
yes.
composition, sorry to interrupt. No, please continue, then I will ask.
Okay, so I am saying that, so till now what we are saying here, this class A in the inheritance is inheriting something from B, but I am saying that this class A composed of B, because I am creating instance of B as a attribute in my class. It means I am composing it, whatever the example I took here also, right? This A class is composing B. How it can compose it? Using the attributes by creating the instance of the other class. Okay,
Okay.
you are getting
So
this?
you
Uh-huh.
mean that composition actually not a type of inheritance. It's just that we declare a class, and
Yes,
inside that class we made a property which is type of B class,
yes,
correct?
yes,
So it's the composition is not something inheritance, but it's just that we are making a attribute, or the attribute inside a class of another type class.
yes.
Like
So
we created, like, okay, let's say there's a class name, the bank account,
yes.
where that we have the information, account number, address, IFC code, and several other.
Mm-hmm.
We have another class, let's say class customer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then in the bank account we are creating an attribute, like let's say public customer, underscore customer. Then it's a composition, because the customer class, that bank account class has an object of customer.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So why we are relating it with the inheritance? What we are trying to do from the inheritance? We are trying to call the methods or attribute of the base class or whatever the class I am inheriting, right? The same thing is there. If I am creating an instance of this class inside me, then I can also inherit the methods and object of that, correct? But the difference here is that I am not creating another type of this. I am just simply creating one object of that. Okay. So we will see more examples on this, but at high level I am trying to say here we can use the functionality of another class by creating an object of this. Once we are using in this manner, that is called composition, because now it has a relationship because it contains this. When I am saying I has a this or I have this, it means I contains this, and when I am saying is a, it means I am part of that, or I am trying to use that particular thing. Okay.
And it has to be a single object, or it can be a list of object.
List of object?
Like,
I did not get this
yeah,
question.
suppose we have a class customer. Okay. A customer has multiple bank account.
Yes.
So I have a attribute like, let's say, public list, which is type of array list or list. It may be then.
Oh,
And then that is
can have
type
anything.
of bank account.
I got
So
your
that
point.
also follow the has a relationship, correct?
Yes, that will also follow.
Okay. So to that listener, Himani, Ayushi, Suraj, remember we create a list of another object of another class inside the main object, like history, and there are several other. That is called composition. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Please continue.
Okay, fine. So next we are going to discuss the polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Once at the high level we discussed this OOPS concept, at that time also bring it. Polymorphism means maniform. It allows object of different class to be treated as object of the common type. In Python, this often achieved by implementing duck typing. So what is duck typing? Duck typing is just a concept. Just focus on this particular statement here. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then it must be a duck. We are not really checking it whether it's a duck, but if it's walking like a duck and it's quacking like a duck, then it's a duck. What it means to us? Because that is the main concept of this polymorphism, right? If I am saying that fly, right? A bird can also fly. If suppose a bird class having a method called fly, which can also fly, and a toy can also fly, right? Right? A toy class can also have this method fly, right?
Drone and like something like
yes,
that.
yeah, the drone is flying, or we have this children's helicopters, right, which are also flying, right? Aeroplane is also fly, right? Aeroplane can also fly. So what we are trying to say here, allow object of different class to be treated as object of a common type. So this fly, this fly, this fly, right? So the same thing is there, but they is having many forms. Here this fly is doing something else, here this fly is doing something else, and here it is doing something else.
Okay.
Correct? So that we are mentioning that can be achieved via the duck typing. Duck typing is nothing, simply it is saying that if it is flying, it means it is that particular thing. I can say it is a duck if it's flying or it's quaking, right? So that is the concept behind this. So what is this basically? It means that an object's suitability for a particular purpose is determined by the presence of certain method or attributes rather than by its explicit type of inheritance hierarchy. What it means? It means that an object suitable for a particular purpose is determined by the presence of certain methods and attributes. If a class having this particular method, right, this fly, and this also having fly, then we can say that this can be a bird. Okay, we can treat this as a bird because we are not explicitly depending on the inheritance hierarchy. We are just saying that if it is following the same method, then we are saying it's polymorphism concept. Okay, maybe it's not much clear here, but once we will look into a practical example, then you will get it more clear ki how we are achieving the polymorphism and why we called it as a duck typing. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so we should mainly focus on this maniforms and presence of certain methods or attributes in the same thing, right? The fly, 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 like this. Okay, next
Okay.
I am going to the abstract base class. So what is the abstract class? Abstract class is a way to define a blueprint for other class. What it means here, suppose I have a class A, right, which I want to say that it will have the add method, right? Fine.
Okay.
So this is a blueprint of class. I am creating add method, I am creating subtract method, right? But instead of doing this here, before this I can say that okay, this class A is inheriting or something using this abstract base class, and this in this base class I already just declare this method add and subtract. I did not do any implementation, because implementation, if this class is abstract class, right, ABC class, abstract base class, you cannot write the implementation of this, but I can still write the blueprint. Whoever is going to use this particular class, they will have this two method.
Okay.
Okay.
So you mean that abstract class we can't have a default implementation of any method, correct?
Yes.
And can we have that attribute? Like, can I define, like, let's say uh, a attribute like, let's say ABC, and inside that there is A comma B. There are two attribute of class ABC. Can we do that?
No, sorry, I did not get it. Can you please repeat it again? What you are trying to say? I will write side by side. Can you say?
Okay. As you said, like in the abstract class, we can't have the default implementation of any method.
Yes.
Can we have the attribute inside the abstract class?
This I
Every
am.
class has
Huh.
method and
Right,
attribute.
right.
Can we have the attribute inside the abstract class?
Yeah, we can have the attribute inside a abstract class. If you are saying
Okay.
that, I am saying that this. So once you are saying attributes, those attributes are not like that. I am saying x equal to 10, right? So those attributes should be either a property, either a method.
Okay. Okay.
Right? We attributes are mainly what is either it's a property, and if it is a function, then it's a method, right? So you can do it via property. Okay. If I am declaring one property here, suppose what is number property, okay, where I am assigning this number property, right? So this property I can use it here in this class, so that I know that suppose this number 1 and number 2, I am creating two properties here in this. I can use those two property here inside this add method. Okay, it's not, you cannot have this variable like this x equal to something, okay, but you can declare the properties and methods. You can achieve it via properties and method.
Okay.
So what is the thing here? Once we are saying a class as abstract in Python, that must be inherited from ABC. ABC is a package in Python which is telling that this class is an abstract base class. Okay, and should contain at least one abstract method. I cannot only say that this class is B is using the ABC and it don't have any methods. It should have some blueprint inside it. And when I am saying this, the decoration, it should be decorated with this particular attributes. Okay. So once we are saying this, what we are trying to say here, we are saying that the enforcement of subclasses, it means someone is going to use it. It will have some subclass. If I'm creating one blueprint, why I'm creating one blueprint if no one is using it, correct? So then I'm saying that yes, someone need to use it. I will have some base class subclasses which will use me. Okay, so this is enforcing the subclass here concept here, right? This A need to inherit this ABC. So this A is the subclass of this B. Sorry, B. Okay, fine. So we are achieving this particular thing via abstract base class. Now, what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is nothing but hiding the informations of the attributes and methods in a class, right? But Python does not enforce strict members, but they are using this naming convention. They don't have the keyword like public, they don't have the keyword like protected, they don't have a keyword like private. But if you are creating one thing like this simple variable, okay, if I am saying that x, this equal to 0, this x is public by default. When I am saying single underscore and I am saying x equal to 10, then this x is protected. And if I am saying double underscore x equal to 20, then I am saying this is private. Okay, so we are achieving this encapsulation with the naming convention. Okay. So you got this part, right? So what is the encapsulation to hiding the information from my inherited class or some other class cannot use me. So for that we usually word the keyword public, private and protected. So that can be achieved with this underscore. Okay. Suppose I am saying that an particular class, right, a car having some engine, right, method, I don't want to expose this method to some other classes, right? So what I can make, I can say this is private method. I can use a double underscore in front of that method. Then I can use it because I don't want to explicitly show this. If I will take one example, right? Suppose government have created this public toilets, right? Okay. So anyone can access those because those are public. And once I am saying protected, I have some toilet in my home. Who can use it? My relatives are coming to my home, they can use it and I can also use it. But if I am saying that I have a personal toilet, no one want to use it, then I am saying it is private. I can only use it. Even my daughter, my son cannot use it. Or you can take the same example of rooms also here, right? So this is the way we are saying public, protected and private. This is the concept of this, how I don't want to allow the others to use my information. What are those information in the term of the programming language? The methods and the attributes. I don't want to allow my attributes and method to be used by some other classes. Okay, then I am saying that it's private. If I am saying that yes, whoever directly inheriting me, he can use me, then I am saying it's protected. And if anyone can use it, then it's public. Clear? It's clear to everyone? So here I just telling you what is public method, what is protected method. Okay, so public methods, they are accessible from anywhere, both inside and outside the class, because they are public. Anyone can use it. No specific prefix is needed. As I told, simple variable x equal to 10 is public. When I am saying protected, protected member are intended for internal use. If it's a protected or it's even a private, I can still use it within my class and its subclasses. While Python does not enforce strict protection, so this is another point here. There is no strict protection. If you still want to use it, right, you can use it by adding the underscore in the front of that. Okay, there is no strict enforcement. Once I am saying that it can be used by myself or my subclass, that is not 100% true. Okay, but usually once we are trying to make one method, it should not be directly accessed from outside the class hierarchy. It means whoever are trying to inherit me, they can only use it, otherwise others should not use it, right? So this is the syntax. We need to add the underscore in front of that underscore x single equal to 20. So that is the way to declare a variable as protected. When I am saying that it is not enforced strictly, so what it means to me? It means to me, if I still want to use this particular thing somewhere else, I can use it with the class name dot underscore that variable name. I will be able to access this. Okay. What are the privates? Private members are intended to be accessible only within the class where they are defined. If I am creating one class A, right, within that class A only, if I am creating some attributes, this will be only used within the scope of this class, within the scope of this class, within the where they are defined. Python implemented the name mangling. So this name mangling is the concept which I was trying to mention there. You can even still use it outside by using this name mangling concept. That is that concept, okay, the class name. Then you can start underscore underscore private attributes. You can even call it via this. Okay. But you should know that, right, if someone created this in the double underscore x equal to 30, then it means this is a private. We should not use it. If you want, you cannot directly use it. Even some other class, if I am saying that B class, right, I want to use a class object x, I cannot directly use like this, okay, a dot x. If I have to use it, there is some convention which is called the mangling here. In the, we can still access it, but there is a way to access it. But this is highly discouraged and break the encapsulation principle itself. If some class have declared this variable like this, it means you don't want to expose it. If someone is still trying to use it, yes, then he should know this particular thing. This is the way to still use it. It's clear? Public, private, protected, and how we can use it and how we can declare those methods and variables. Fine. Okay, so let's spend some time hands-on lab. Okay, one second. Okay, so yesterday we discussed this class instance variable. Okay, I'm using that same file only. Within that we will continue. Okay, sorry. Suppose I created one class, right? So what is the syntax to create a class? Class this animal, right? I created one class animal, and inside this animal class I define one method, right? Speak. A animal can speak, right? And I am saying that animal is speaking. Okay, so this is a straightforward class. I just created it and I defined one method inside it, right? So if someone want to use this, so what we need to do, we need to create one instance of this class. I am saying that the obj animal equal to animal. So we are just whatever we discussed yesterday, we are going to cover same thing here, because those are basics to create one, right? Dot speak. Definition class animal obj animal. Did I use the same word here? Oh, so we mistaken the default thing here, right? So you got it by as soon as I look into the error. Takes 0 positional argument, but 1 was given. So that I explained yesterday also. We need to explicitly define this self here, the right? Because as soon as you are creating one object and trying to call the method of this, it will automatically pass this parameter to here. So this is the error coming. Take 0 positional argument, but 1 was given, because I did not declare anything here. But as soon as you are trying to call one method of this particular class, it is automatically passing this instance as a parameter to it. So that's the reason we are getting this error, right? Fine. So now we got this. Okay, this is a particular example here. This animal is speaking. Now this is a straightforward example. I am just copying pasting it. So this is the way we are declaring the methods and we are creating the instance. Now there is another class. Okay, there is another class, say dog, okay, which want to inherit this animal. So what is the syntax for this? This dog need to mention like this. I want to, sorry, animal. Dog is inheriting animal. Okay, and I am not writing anything inside it. I am simply saying pass. Yeah, the pass is a keyword. If you don't want to write any definition of a function, or you don't want to write any definition of a class, you can use the keyword class here. Okay, so now I did not write even a single method, single attribute in this class, right? So if I am saying that obj dog equal to dog, right? So what I can do here? Can I call this a speak method of the animal?
Yes.
Yes, we can call it, because that is the concept of inheritance. If I will say that obj dog dot speak, right? So it is saying animal is speaking. Yeah, the first line is printed by this particular thing, or let me even don't create this. Okay, I'm simply creating this example here. Okay, animal is speaking. Now, yeah, this method I can use it, but if I want to override this functionality of this particular method, then I can write the same method here, right? Self, this one, print.
So dog is barking.
A dog is barking, right? Fine. Now if I will do the same thing, if I will run it again, what it will do? It will say dog is barking. This is the concept of inheritance. Suppose what I did now, I created another class. Class cat animal. Okay. Def speak self print cat is meow speaking. Okay.
Cat, you mentioned car, and
Okay,
you ended
sorry, no,
with the
no,
double
okay,
quote,
fine, that is fine, yeah. So
and
cat
it
is
should be
meow.
single quote.
Yeah, that's fine, because whatever the bracket we are starting. So now if I will write this obj cat equal to cat, I will try to call this obj cat dot speak, right? So it will do the same thing. So why I created these two things here? Now if I am creating another class here, class xyz, I'm not simply giving it some name, I'm simply saying xyz is a class, right, which is calling the dog and which is also calling the cat. Okay, so this is the method resolution order we are trying to call here. I am not even, I am simply passing it. Okay, I'm not writing any method inside it. If I will create an object of xyz, right, 1 second, obj xyz dot speak.
No,
Sorry,
you need to
sorry,
declare
I
the
need to create the
so
object. I did not create the object of obj xyz equal to xyz.
new.
No, new keyword is not needed.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Fine. So now what it will do, because I pass the dog in the first order, then it will call this. Let me comment this particular methods here just for reference.
Dog is barking.
Yeah, let me remove this methods. I am just simply dog is barking, right? If I will just interchange this, then it will say that cat is meow.
Cat.
Fine. So this is called method resolution order, whatever the way you want to call it. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, okay, so this is the way the method resolution work. Now Satya ask another question here, right? Suppose this dog have some another method. Okay, define, okay, walk, or I am just simply saying number of legs, right? So how many legs a dog can have?
Self.
4.
Self.
Yeah,
We need to
self,
pass
right?
self.
Yes, self. Print dog have 4 legs.
Mhm.
So now, if I want to call this,
No, you ended with the semicolon.
oh, sorry, yes, obj xyz dot number of
Legs.
legs.
Then
Fine.
it will say
I,
dog
I,
has
I,
four
I use the
legs.
same word, let number of legs, right?
No, the
One
spelling
second.
mistake.
Spelling mistake. I'm also doubtful here. No.
No,
OBJ,
it's
OBJ,
same.
OBJ. Yeah, this OBJ is spelling mistake here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So now dog have 4 legs. So this, whatever this order is working, that is will work on this. If I will write the same method inside that also, right? Then it will give the same order. If I'm writing the same method here in this particular thing, right? And I'm saying that
Hmm.
cat 4 legs, cat have 4 legs. Now what it will do, because my order is cat, so both of these methods will take from the cat class. Cat have the 4 legs. So this is the way method resolution work in the Python. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So clear on this inheritance concept, or anything we want to discuss further? Any other example you guys want to take? Any specific things? Or
No, this is correct.
this is straightforward, right? So I'm just revising the thing, whatever the example we did yesterday, because some members were not available yesterday, right? So if you want to create a constructor and you want to initialize some data inside a class, you can create it with this constructor. Otherwise, a class will have its default constructor, as we saw in the below example also, right? So this is the way to create one constructor of a class, starting with underscore underscore init and underscore underscore, and then you can pass that object and whatever the attributes you want to pass to it. So this is a instance variable. This model is an instance variable, and when whatever this variable I declared here, that is a class variable, because I directly created inside the class, and whatever the a variable I am creating inside those methods or constructor, those are called the instance variable. Okay. So and other things are pretty straightforward, nothing else. How to create an object of a class, and if you this constructor is taking one parameter, we can pass those parameter to it, right? So this is the way how to create a constructor and what are these variables, right? Now in this example also, right? Anyone have any question?
Mm, no.
Okay, fine. So now what I did here in this example, I did not pass any instance variable. I am simply directly using those class variable. To access those class variable, we are using the class name, and then we are accessing those variables, right? And
Yeah.
this is again the same way to create a class object of a class, right? And here we will revise this again, the same thing whatever we discussed yesterday, what are static methods and what are class methods. Okay, so to create one method as a static, we need to add the static method decorator, and to create one method as a class method, we need to use the class method decorator. So what we are
Okay.
achieving from static method, suppose this is one method, static method get car brand, right? Again there is thing, there is no strict rule in Python. I told you guys yesterday, right? I can call this get car brand method, this static method, even with the object also, and I can even call it with the class name also. Okay, not a preferred way, but calling a static method via object is not a preferred way. Okay, so we should call it using the class itself, right? And what are class methods? The main job of the class methods is to create a factory design pattern. Okay, if I want to return a specific type of object from this, suppose I want to do something, I want to initiate it, and I want to return an object of this. So this is the syntax. Like here is the self for the object, CLS for the class, and I am returning a class object here. So once I am calling this particular method, right, on get car object, right? So I am getting this particular object of this class itself, the car. If I'm directly calling this car dot this one, even I am able to create this object of this class. But usually how we are creating a class, we are creating the class in this manner, right? But I did not do that. I can now I am creating the object of this class from this class method itself, and then I can use this method to further consume the other methods of this particular class, right? I can use this object to call those other methods. Okay, so this is the things yesterday we covered, right? And we covered this properties. So if we need to add the property decorator in front of that property name, so that we can, this is a setter only, because sorry, this is a getter only. I did not use the setter. So to set a property, I need to use the property name with the @ attribute and then dot setter. Then I am setting a property. So this scenario is also we covered. So till now we covered the basic classes concept, okay, the properties, the different methods, type and inheritance. So tomorrow our target will be to finish this composition, right, and encapsulation and polymorphism hands-on lab. Anyone have any question till now?
Sir, I
Yes.
have one question.
Yes, Suraj.
When create a class and object,
Yes.
like, है ना, then one doubt, create any object of class, then send, मतलब define parameter on class name.
Define
Like,
parameter on
go
class
to
name.
above.
You-
Go to above.
Okay, you are asking me to scroll up.
Scroll up.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
So which example you want to take?
Like, okay. Like first example is,
Yes.
Class is car,
Yes.
and obj is equal to car. Obj is equal to car, and
Yes.
passing parameter.
Yes.
But in other programming language, we are create object of class and pass and calling the method and send parameter on method by method.
Yes.
So it's doubt me.
No. What is the
If
concept here? Okay, the concept here is this: if you want to initialize some variable during the constructor itself, then you can pass it inside the constructor. If you don't want to do it, you can do it without the constructor. Here, if you see this example,
yes.
right? We take one example here. Let me go back here. What is that example? Okay, where we do that example? Okay, let's write one example. Okay, if we did not do that, that's fine. Okay, class car. Okay, we are taking the same example of the car, right? I'm not going to declare anything. Even if I don't want to initialize, right, any parameter or any attributes of this class in the constructor, then I don't need to define the constructor also. Okay. I am simply saying that define method, right? This car description. Okay, what is this car description method? It is taking two things. It is taking the brand of the car and it is taking the model of the car. Fine. And then I am simply printing this to variable here, brand comma model. Fine. And I am creating an object of car, obj equal to car, right? And then I am saying obj dot car description. Then I am calling that brand is Hyundai. And model is i20, right? So that's all. I use something or descriptive. Okay, self. I am forgetting this self again. Okay, so you saw this. So this is also a way. This is the way how you want to use it, because whatever the example we took it earlier, you saw here, right? I am always telling that ki brand is Hyundai. Here, this is the class variable. If I want to use this brand, always here, and whatever the model example I take here, that model I want to initialize in the constructor itself, so that I don't need to pass this. I'm not passing any parameter to this method, right? It is just taking the object here, correct? So this is one way. This is another way, right? Within the same thing, right? Even I don't want to pass the parameter inside it. So then what I need to do? I can use this example of this brand here. Let me copy, this is my one example here, right? This is a brand, right? I don't want to set up this brand here, okay? I don't want to set this brand here itself, okay? I am just simply removing this particular thing from here, okay? I'm just
Yes.
taking one example here. So what, I even don't need this constructor also, fine? So now what
Okay.
I'm trying to do here, one second. Now within this particular thing, if I need to, these are the two properties I declared. Now I am creating another method here, car description, okay? And then I am saying it self print self underscore brand, okay? Obj equal to car, right? And then I am saying that ki obj dot brand equal to Honda.
Okay.
And then I am saying that obj dot car description. So this is another way. These are the different way how you want to use it. So in this way also, what I did here, I set this variable by calling this setter property here, right? I set this variable, and here what I am doing, I am getting this variable in this car description by calling this, okay? So this will do its job, whatever the job it's supposed to do. I created the car, some syntax, car object has no attribute car description, okay? It's a typo. Okay, it printed Honda, right? So this is the way how you want to use the properties to pass the data to it. You want to use the constructor to initialize the data. You want to directly use the method to pass the parameters, right? So these are the different ways. So it depends on the scenario, right? If in some scenario you need that yes, this is here, if I'm taking this example, I know that we are talking about the Hyundai car only. We are just bothering about the model, right? So I set this directly here in the brand as a class variable itself, because it is not going to change. Okay. So this is the way how we can do it in different fashions. Any other questions from anyone?
No, sir.
Then thanks a lot for joining this session. Okay. So again I'm repeating, so I hope you guys are every day writing the codes daily, okay, whatever the practice we are doing here, right?
Yes.
Okay, just follow this guide, okay, because this is really useful, okay?
Yes.
Okay, then thanks a lot for joining this session. We will meet tomorrow. I'm closing it for today.